Thank you. Sir, it's my understanding that there's a core conservative principle that state and local government have the power to govern themselves without federal interference. If you were president, would you protect gay marriage and state medical marijuana laws and allow them to operate without federal interference?
I believe that America is based on a certain set of core values, right? And those core values should be reflected in our laws and should be enforced in our laws. I don't believe that we can have 50 definitions of marriage in this country. I think that's an unworkable system.
Why?
That because we are a society that just to say that we should have 50 definitions of what life is. I don't think that works either. I think that there are certain things that are essential elements of society upon which society rests that we have to have a consensus on. And so that's why I believe on things essential as what is life and what life is protected under the Constitution should be a federal charge, not a state by state. And I'll use extreme examples, but because you're 19 years old and you're a female, you're allowed to live in this state, but because he's 30 years old and male, he's not. Well, obviously we're not getting there. That's an absurd example, but it is. Well, if you're a certain amount of gestational age, or if you were born and you can be, there's some states that advocated for mercy killings, for example, euthanasia. And you can be euthanized if you're in one state, but you can't be in another state. Those are things that I think are counter to the Constitution, which says, there are a certain set of values upon which we base our laws on. So I would make the argument that I would advocate for federal laws that deal with these issues. From the standpoint of a constitutional amendment on the issue of marriage. I would do the constitutional amendment, the issue of life. Why? Because I think they are necessary elements, basic elements of society upon which we have to have consensus.
The second part of that question, the marijuana laws state by state.
I guess I would take the opinion that the federal laws are laws that are in place right now that say that these are narcotics. Right? I don't know if whether I assume they are. I don't know.
Sorry, they're not.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know my medical marijuana laws very well. I'll be honest with you.
You should.
So, I know. I should know everything, but I don't. So I apologize. I'm trying my best. But there are. I think I feel that they're a hazardous thing for society, and so Well, I formed that opinion from my own life experiences and having experienced that. I went to college too. So I would make the argument that states have the rights, but they don't have the right to do anything they want to. States don't have the right to sterilize people. They did at one time, but we said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. States, under the Constitution, probably have the right to do it, just like they have the right to do medical marijuana laws, but legally. But I don't think they morally have the right to do things that are harmful to the people in their community, and therefore I think the federal government should step in. Yeah. So I'm out of time. I'm encouraged that everybody still wants to ask me questions and is listening, and that's a wonderful thing. Let me thank you all very, very much.